Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and this is a story that's a couple days old. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. The teen that was disqualified from the Pokemon tournament, the Pokemon trading card game tournament, because he nervously laughed when being asked his pronouns. And I'm sure a lot of you individuals have heard about the story. If you haven't already, well, buckle in, because it is absolutely atrocious, yet there's a bit of comedy to it as well. But I want to go ahead and cover it, throw my hat in the ring, because this needs to get out there. The fact that we have fallen this far needs to be put out there more. So even though it's been covered kind of to death, I think adding one more voice can only help, because companies need to change this policy, again, I said on Twitter, this is something that I could easily see Wizards of the Coast doing, because Magic the Gathering is so oppressively woke. And I've told you guys, I don't like that word. I don't use the word woke that often. I think woke has lost all meaning, just like when people call people Nazis or things like that. Woke has lost meaning, except in instances like this, when I think this is absolutely an undisputed case of wokeness. This is completely unfair. Let's go through this article so you can see what I'm referring to. Teen disqualified from Pokemon tournament for laughing upon being asked his pronouns. A teenage player was disqualified from a Pokemon trading card game tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina after an exchange with a judge regarding his preferred pronouns. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have played tournament-based card games. Now, if you've gone to tournaments, played card games, I actually used to play Pokemon in Pokemon tournaments when I was really young. I was like from 10 to 12, had a super sweet electric type deck. Anyway, and then, around older than that, not too much older, but a little older than that, I got into Magic the Gathering. Been playing in Magic the Gathering tournaments off and on ever since then. One of my more recent videos was actually me at a Magic the Gathering tournament. I was getting their opinion on the state of the game. So if you guys have been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I love TCGs. Specifically, Magic is one that I used to love that I kind of loathe now, but I have fond memories of Pokemon, and I used to play in Pokemon tournaments. Well, let me tell you, from what I can gather from this news article, Pokemon tournaments now are quite a bit different than they were in like 2005. Makani Tran, who took time off school and spent $800 to participate in the tournament, was brought to tears when the head judge told him he was disqualified from the event due to allegedly violating their inclusion policy by making someone else feel unsafe and uncomfortable. So homeboy, who spent $800 to get to this tournament. It was a regional qualifier, by the way. I don't know how much you guys know about trading card games or regional qualifiers. Some of the highest level you can get to after regional qualifiers, it's usually from there Pro Tour. Or at least that's how it works with Magic. I assume that's how it works with Pokemon as well. Regional qualifiers is basically like the best of the best when it comes to semi-pro sort of play. So this, teenage kid obviously put a lot of time, effort, dedication. Trading card games aren't cheap. You put in money, you put in time, you deck test, you play against people in your local game shops. You pay to get into tournaments, and then if you do well into those tournaments, you are qualified for more bigger tournaments that you then have to pay to get into. Like, it is absolutely, it's a grind. It's a very awesome grind if you had the disposable income and emotional willpower to get into it. And this dude had it all stripped from him for nothing more than nervous laughter, making a judge, a grown freaking adult, feel uncomfortable and unsafe. What did homeboy think he was gonna do? Pull an AR-15 out of his Pikachu deck box and start spraying the place because there were trannies there? Sorry, that's not what was gonna happen. And I know that was a pretty rude statement. The individual that did, was disqualified has asked us, not to be rude to trans people or taking it, and that's completely fine. I agree with that. You should not let interactions like this have you attack, trans individuals or individuals of a different ilk than you. Like, situations like this need to be called out, but in a non-violent way. We should have, peaceful discussions. That being said, I'm going to say some ruthless things for comedic effect, because you know what? It's better to say the words than do the mean things. Unless, of course, you're saying words completely innocuously at a Pokemon tournament, at which point you might just get banned for it. He gave his side of the incident in a lengthy post shared from his Twitter account. On our way over to the stream area, the judge asked our preferred pronouns. I said, he or him, or, and I paused trying to think of the third pronoun being his. As I just stood there looking stupid trying to think of the third pronoun, I felt embarrassed because I was failing to think of a simple word. Due to the nerves and me being embarrassed, I let out a little laugh, just a normal nervous laugh. My response together ended up being, he or him, or, his. That's it. Now, here's the thing. I can completely buy this story. He is in a high-level tournament. He has gone 5-0. He has won all 5 games. yeah, the nerves are high. Dude, at that point, you're like, okay, I'm on a roll. I'm doing great. I had to travel to do this. I had to pay $800 to travel to come here. This is a massive tournament. Like, yeah, nerves, the further into the tournament you get, nerves are going to be running hot. And when you get a question like this, dude, I've forgotten simple words all the time. Like just someone says, hey, what do you want for dinner? Oh, in your head, you're thinking chicken wings. And you just look around the room real quick. Pancakes. No, like yeah, it's very obvious. Some people, when they're in nervous situations or just get asked something off the cuff, they have trouble. I mean, that's what made Family Feud so interesting. The entire game show, Family Feud, revolves around the concept of thinking of words on the spot. And it's fun to watch because sometimes people are bad at it. It's difficult. It's not just as simple, oh, I ask you a question, I give you an answer. Because the dude had a brain fart moment, because he's doing really well at a very high level tournament, he's also in high school. That means the kid is somewhere between 14 to 18 years old, give or take. So it's not like he's exactly super world wise. And for him to be treated like this over making a grown person feel unsafe or uncomfortable is disgusting. He just had a brain fart moment and he nervously laughed. And you guys are treating this worse than when Logan Paul was laughing at suicides and dead bodies. It appeared the judge became uncomfortable after Tran had an awkward laugh upon being asked his pronouns. Okay, just wanted to check to be safe. I go by they, them, so don't be a jerk about it, the judge apparently responded. That is a completely inappropriate response from a judge. Now again, as someone who has played in tournaments, you don't need your judges giving you their pronouns. You say, hey judge, if you got an issue, and they come over and they make a rules decision. And that be that. I don't usually call judges by their pronouns. I don't go, hey lady, or hey dude. It's always, hey judge. Judge is pretty gender neutral unless you're talking about the actor or director, Mike Judge. For them to state, I go by they, them, and don't be a jerk about it. Like, that was literally, that had to be to intentionally cause some controversy. Because the guy clearly was not being a jerk about it. There was nervous laughter. Or if he was being a jerk about it, oh well, you're an adult. You're an adult judging a Pokemon card game tournament. You should be a little bit brighter, a little bit more emotionally stable than to get so offended by a freaking high school kid having a giggle when trying to think of a word. If you found that so offensive, you got some problems. You need to go home, rethink your life. Maybe you shouldn't be a judge at these sorts of tournaments. If you're so biased that you want to get this dude thrown out because of laughter, how can you be trusted to do your job unbiasedly as a judge? Someone calls over for a judge ruling and you see they've got a Trump t-shirt on or something. Are you gonna rule against their favor even if they were actually the one correct, just because, oh, I don't like this guy, he's in a Trump shirt, so I'm gonna actually bend the rules and give a bias ruling towards the other guy, even though I know what the ruling should be because I don't like his shirt, he's clearly a Republican, or something like that. Like, I can completely see a judge doing something like this if they're willing to get someone DQ'd from the entire tournament over laughter. This is a shit show. Tran was escorted off the game stage by the head judge, to whom he explained that his nerves had caused him to laugh. According to the teen, he was 5-0 at the tournament and was given a 6th round matchup against a well-known player, Alex Shemansky. I remember saying, wait, what? I was so confused. I had just explained very calmly what had happened, and he seemed that he was listening, Tran wrote, adding that he was brought to tears after his request to appeal was denied. Yeah, they didn't even give Homeboy a chance to appeal this decision. That is sickening. A regional qualifier tournament. I want to break this. I want to stress this to people, how big a deal that is. That is massive. Regional qualifiers are insanely competitive, and he was 5-0. This kid is good. Like, I don't know how much time he spends playing Pokemon, or I don't even know how much Pokemon has really changed since I used to play it competitively way back in the day. But this kid is good. If he's at regionals and he's gone 5-0, like, I would have been, like, cheering this dude's name, like, oh my god, who is this guy? He is awesome. 5-0 at regionals, and then just booted. He doesn't get the chance to appeal, to explain that there was no ill intent. It's not like he was going in and being like, hey, this tranny judge, fuck him. Like, okay, yeah, boot someone for that. That's a bit uncool. But just nervously laughing because he didn't even know the judge had they, them pronouns. It's not like he was intentionally making fun of the judge. He hadn't been told the judge's pronouns. He didn't ask. He was just wanting to go to a stream area, play some card games and whatnot, maybe watch the stream on the big screen. this judge initiated this and then got the dude DQ'd. That is even more sickening. The kid did nothing wrong. Now I want to know the extent of the DQ. Like Magic will ban you for life, or at least for multiple years, for instances like this. I mean, that's been happened. That's absolutely happened before. Wizards of the Coast is absurd with some of their banning practices. Another time they give you like a 1-year ban for cheating, and then you can come back. Okay, yeah, cheating at the card game gets you a 1-year ban, but calling someone the wrong pronoun, out for life. Dude, yeah, screw Papa Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. So I don't know. This dude was DQ'd. There isn't any reports that it's going to be a further ban. Maybe he doesn't even want to come back to the game. That would be sad. If this individual here doesn't want to come back to the tournament scene because of what unfairly happened to him, when he clearly has talent. I mean, it's not just playing the game well. You have to build the deck. You have to test it. You have to know out of all the thousands of cards which ones work together. Like I'm sure that Pokemon is like Magic the Gathering, that there's set limitations. You can only go back so far. The dude clearly is a good player, and what if this experience turned him off to the game for the rest of his life, or at least till things get fixed? This is why I want to add my voice to this conversation, because I don't know how many other individuals, there's obviously a lot of people that have talked about this from a political state of mind. Like, there's a lot of people, wanting to get political with it, talking about woke culture and this, that, and the other, and that's fine. I agree with getting into it from that angle as well, but also from the angle of being a card game fan, of being a competitive card game fan. I don't like seeing individuals possibly take themselves out of a card game they love because they had an awful, unfair interaction with some bogus rules in a tournament setting. That's what effectively has happened to me with Magic the Gathering. Some awful rulings, some awful changes to the game, some awful management by Wizards of the Coast and Papa Hasbro has taken me out of enjoying Magic the Gathering as a game. What's to say that it's not happening to Pokemon now as well, and that this young man is not at the center of it, and he's not going to have his love for the game changed because of it? It is maddening. The teen also clarified that he does not have any problem with using pronouns, nor did he have any negative intentions. Well, yeah, I assume we all pretty much understood that from the get-go. That's what nervous laughter means. Clearly the dude wasn't malicious. After Tran shared his account of the incident, his friend started a GoFundMe page to help refund his travel expenses. As of Thursday, the fundraiser has collected over $3,000 in donations after an initial $1,500 goal. In a tweet thanking contributors to the fundraiser, Tran emphasized that he does not condone the harassment of the members of the trans community. And that's completely fair. Don't harass an entire community or anything like that. But when bad faith individuals try and screw you over, don't harass them, but maybe don't play nice with them. I can't do anything. They're in a position of power. No, screw them. This judge fucked you. And that's not okay. I very rarely curse in my videos. Go back, watch my catalog. I don't like to swear in my videos. I find it very unprofessional, very uncouth, very unbecoming of somebody as magnanimous as myself. But fuck this judge. This is a disgusting act that should not have occurred. This judge intentionally fucked you, and they did it because their fifis were hurt because of some nervous laughter. I don't know if this judge is trans. I don't know whether they use they, them pronouns. That does not automatically mean they're trans. Want to know what it does mean? It means they're a piece of shit for canceling you over just nervous laughter. Their pronouns got nothing to do with it. Who they are at their core, who they are at their soul, the fact that they're willing to take a child's dream and their hopes and something they work towards and completely crush them over their adult fucking feelings being hurt? Fuck this judge. Now that I've achieved my R-rated video, which I don't think I've ever had before, let's move on. I completely forgot to read his tweet earlier. I have never cried the way I cried that night. I told them that I didn't have any service and I had no way to contact anyone and didn't even have a key to my hotel room that I would have had to walk to. I'm being completely honest with everyone when I say I've never been this upset in my life. I'm actually at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say right now. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. This means the world to me. I'm so grateful for all the support I've received, and I'm amazed. Love all you guys. Thank you again for everything. One more thing. Do not use what happened at Charlotte as an excuse to bully and harass the trans community. This is a good kid. He's over here. He's appreciative. He's pouring his heart out. He's also asking people on the internet, like myself, like people who make videos, not to attack the trans community because he's a good kid. Nintendo or whoever runs the Pokemon TCG community, fix this. Fix this now. This is clearly a good person who just wants to play some Pokemon and enjoy the card game. Fix this. That shit is not okay, and I do not condone this behavior at all. That's all I had to say, and again, thank you for all the support. I'm so happy right now. Trans opponent, Shaminsky, also took to Twitter to express his thoughts on the matter. This is probably a dangerous tweet for me. Should Mikani have been DQ'd? I don't think so. But remember, y'all, this isn't an excuse to attack inclusivity people's identity. Also remember the judges are, by the rules, completely unable to share their side of things. But that is exactly what this judge did. When this judge took it upon themselves to DQ Lil Homeboy because of the they, them, oh, he, him, because of the scenario, they shared their side of things. They already gave us their side of things. Their side of things was they were unsafe, uncomfortable. This kid's probably a bigot because he laughed at some pronouns. That he shared his side. You don't have to always use words to express your side because actions speak louder than words. So yeah, remember, judges are by the rules completely unable to share their side of things. We don't need him to share his side. The actions did that for us. And this was completely unfair and sickening. I'm going to keep saying it because this needs fixed. It is not okay. Card game tournament scenes shouldn't work like this. You don't need to bring your ideologies and your politics into this card game. The rulings should be about the rules of the game. That's it. Now again, if someone does something incredibly disruptive, yeah, DQ them. If someone goes to the concession stand, buys themselves a cheeseburger, and then just starts throwing it and throwing the toppings and shit, DQ that dude. He's a menace. But just laughing when asked a simple question? Really? However, Will Post, a Pokemon tournament judge, later responded on Twitter in a now deleted tweet. Post appeared to agree with the decision to disqualify Tran. Yeah, there were judges agreeing with this, which is also maddening. This whole system needs overhauled if that be the case. Whether you agree/disagree with a ruling, a Pokemon judge should not have to worry about people coming to workplace over a call they were involved with a Pokemon tournament. I would normally agree, yes, but this was egregious. This wasn't a call they made about a card game. This wasn't a ruling call. This was clearly a political and social move. So get that BS out of here. This is an exception, not the rule. If you think doxing people over judge calls is the right play, go home and rethink your life. No one was getting doxed over a judge call. Even if they were, again, doxing, not cool. I don't condone that. Doxing is a bad thing. That being said, you can't compare this like it's a regular judge call. A regular judge call comes in to tell you whether or not you are following the rules of the game, if interactions between cards are working properly, if you had to flip this sort of card over and play insert card here, if that play is a legal play. That's what judges are for. Judges aren't here to get you DQ'd because you got upset about some pronoun bogus that was completely by mistake. There was no malicious intent. It was obvious there was no malicious intent. So don't treat this like it was another judge scenario, like another just normal, oh, this is some judges have to deal with. It's obvious why you deleted your tweet, because this is a dumbass take. This community complains about the quality of judge calls all the time. Yeah, every card game community does that, because sometimes judge calls, people are going to complain when a call is not made in their favor when playing the game. Like, hey, this interaction should work. I should be able to tap this or do this to have this go off. And if the judge says it doesn't work, yeah, people complain about that. People aren't usually getting complained. People aren't usually complaining about being disqualified over being nervous. That's what happened here. Fuck off with this. I promise no quality judge wants the pressure of breaking, even taking a lead role in an event to worry about their safety and professional life following an event if a call goes sour. This wasn't a call. I mean, technically it was by rules, but no. Again, fuck off. This is all just a bastardized attempt to take this judge's side, or so that maybe you aren't, kowtowing and being attacked. You probably don't want to be attacked yourself. You're going to take this judge's side because anyone that doesn't take this judge's side, that takes the player's side, is going to be called transphobic or a bigot or this, that, and the other. No, fuck you. You got to take the role of the person who is right. The point of a judge is to be unbiased, and clearly we are seeing bias, and that means you are untrustworthy and unfit to be a fucking judge. Tran has declined to provide a statement to Next Shark. Well, here's the thing, guys. I don't normally go off on tangents like this, on these angry, venomous, awful curse word fueled rants. That is not what I like as part of my channel. If you look back, this is the only video I have ever done this on, likely. I'm not the type of individual that likes to just yell and swear and curse. So this is the first time watching a video from me. By all means, don't take this as the norm. Maybe check out some of my other stuff. But I am furious at this situation, and anyone who has any knowledge of the card game sphere should be furious at this situation as well. But let me know what you think in the comments below, or please let me know on Twitter, where you can follow me at BoltTheWord. This is a conversation that desperately needs to be had, not just with Pokemon, but with the TCG scene in general. And please just subscribe to the channel. We are almost at that 700 subscriber mark, and I could not have done this without you. Thank you guys so much. I have no idea how I can show how appreciative I am. I am a nerdy news channel. I do nerdy news every day, not just about card games, like Magic and Pokemon, but also about anime, movies, Disney, comics, you name it. It's all here in the nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.